Tracy. Coach Carmody is in the air as we speak. He's on a recruiting trip on the West Coast. But here, the former head coach at Rutgers, now one of his great assistants, Fred Hill.
It's a pleasure to be here. I see we only have one camera left, which is probably good because as an East Coast guy, and Gene knows the Big East, and Doug, and Billy spent some time out at Seton Hall, got to know him really well from DePaul. All my life I've been known as a Jersey guy, so instead of Coach Carmody, mild-mannered, even-keeled, you get this loud guy with this Jersey accent up here to talk to you about Northwestern basketball. What I really, truly want to say is this is an unbelievable city. And being an East Coast guy and the Big East all my life, people always ask me, what would you do if you had to make a move? And as long as 20 years ago, I said if there's one place I could possibly go, I would love to go to Chicago. And I've been here for a year. Chicago basketball is phenomenal. High school basketball is phenomenal. The people that are in this room at all the universities here, it's awesome. And I'm just so proud to be a small part of it. So to all of you people that make this such a great day, thank you very much for kind of inviting me out. And thanks to Mitch Henderson for leaving Northwestern, getting the head job at Princeton, and giving me a wonderful opportunity. Jim Phillips also, we all know where Jim is. Sends his regrets, obviously, he couldn't be here. He's with the football team, hoping to bring home a victory for Minnesota. For all the ADs, I was keeping track. It's the fourth mention of Jim and the third mention of Bill. Maybe next year you don't want to show up, and everybody will talk about where you're at, and you'll get more notoriety. It really is a pleasure to talk about, Northwestern basketball. It's been a great 4-year run, the best in Northwestern history. Like I said, I've been very fortunate to be on board for 1 year, and I think the future is extremely bright. We have a young man that I think if you talk about Northwestern basketball over the last 4 years, Johnny Sharna, the all-time leading scorer, and was the leading scorer in the Big Ten last year, is currently with the New York Knicks, and we're very proud that we have a young man playing in professional basketball in the NBA. But we brought along 3 other guys that are a huge part of the success that Northwestern has had in the last 4 years, and that's our 3 seniors. If they would stand up right now, Alex Marco Tullio on your left, Drew Crawford in the middle, and Reggie Hearn on the right. Those 3 young men are a big part of what we've been able to accomplish, and hopefully they are going to accomplish more great things this year. And I can tell you, 3 of the best leaders. I've been doing this 30 years for a long time, and 3 of the best leaders that I've ever been around anywhere I've had the privilege of coaching. So we're looking forward to what they bring to the program this year. We've got a lot of newcomers, and I was talking before, I was trying to count up the freshmen. We've got a number of new freshmen, but we've also got 2 redshirt freshmen from last year. We've got a transfer and a 5th-year transfer in Jared Swapshire, who also will be part of that older group that will bring great leadership. Played at Louisville, played in the Final Four. Those guys are the leaders in our program that will teach the young players what needs to be done on a daily basis to be very successful in one of the best conferences in the country, in the Big Ten. Having come from the Big East, I'm always asked the question, what's the difference between the Big East and the Big Ten? And Oliver knows the last 10 years, in my opinion, the Big East and the Big Ten have gone back and forth 1 and 2 as the 2 best leagues in the country. And I don't think there's a lot of difference. I just know that every single night you are going to go against the very best players, the very best coaches, and you've got to be prepared. We used to say that we eat our own, and you do kind of beat each other up. It's great rivalries, and it's something that we look forward to each and every night as we continue on our quest after making 4 straight postseason appearances to take the next step and get into the dance and the NCAA tournament. So it's an exciting time in Northwestern basketball. Our non-conference schedule, last year one of the best in the country. This year won't be much different. We are very excited to add UIC to the schedule and start a series with them. And we've got Stanford coming in, we've got Butler coming in, Maryland coming in, and we have to go at Baylor. So it's a very challenging non-conference schedule when you're getting done with that, getting ready to play in one of the best leagues or the best league in the country. I thank everybody again for allowing me to be here. This is an awesome event in an awesome city, and I wish all the men's and women's coaches, all the administrators here, the best of success for a great season. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fred. Next coach we're going to hear from, I watched play a lot at Taft High School. He went on to play in college. He was an outstanding player, and now he has got his UIC Flames pointed in the direction to have a real breakthrough year this year. Howard Moore.
Thank you, Dave. First of all, the check is in the mail because I was not an outstanding player. But at the same time, if you haven't seen Dave on Comcast, if you get a chance to tune in, DVR, whatever you got to do, check him out. He is very candid, very upfront, and if you're anyone other than Jay Cutler, he will let you know exactly where you stand. He's very honest, but he's very passionate about Chicago and especially Chicago sports. But thank you personally for everything you do for me in support and UIC Athletics. I also like to thank Maggiano's for their hospitality as always, and the good folks at DePaul for putting this on, taking time to make sure that this is always a very nice event. Like Tracy mentioned, for all of us as a preseason warm-up, this is always a great way to break it in and get started on what everyone hopes to be an exciting season. Also like to thank the folks at UIC, the people that help us grow on a daily basis. Obviously, I call him Chief. Every time he walks by my office, I say, "What's up, Chief?" Mr. Jim Schmidt, the Dean of the Horizon League ADs. So please acknowledge him. His assistant right-hand man, Mr. Rick Harrigan. I already mentioned Tanya McGowan, and thank you, Tanya, for everything you do for me. I appreciate that. Also want to acknowledge Dr. Henley as well. She's a great supporter as our Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. I appreciate everything you do for us. The support is tremendous, and we really appreciate everything that you do on a daily basis for all the students and coaches. Thank you. I must make a special moment to thank Denny Wills. And I'm sure Tracy can add to this. Denny is a coach's coach, a coach's administrator, and he has been a huge beacon of light for a young coach trying to find his way. And Denny, I really appreciate you. Thank you for everything you do, and I'm sure I'm not the only one at UIC that feels this way, but you're a special person, and I really appreciate everything you do for me, man. Thank you. All right, I don't want to make this long-winded because I know we've been here for a long time, but I got to make sure I thank some other people. Mark Donovan, he's one of our other administrators at UIC. He's the guy that made things go, and we appreciate you, Mark. We also want to just acknowledge Kenny Williams, one of the former players at UIC, standing, hanging out in the back down there. Lyons Township great. And I got to make sure I mention this because when he retired and the job was open, I made sure I gave him a call. And I said, Coach, I got to get your approval and make sure I got your blessing. So, Coach Collins, please stand one more time and be acknowledged. The biggest compliment he could do was come by practice a few times last year. They were gracious enough to allow him to do some color for our game against Northern Illinois last year. And the best compliment he could give me was that we were doing the right things and we're on the right path at UIC. And after a great legacy he's put in place there, that definitely says a lot to what we're doing, and I appreciate that, Coach. I got to make sure I acknowledge my staff and the people that help us on a daily basis. Our associate athletic assistant coach, Al Biancalana, has got a recruit on campus right now, but he couldn't make it, as well as Stu Robinson had a family situation he had to take care of. But I do have Donnie Kirksey, one of my assistants. Our video coordinator, Jeremy Butel, former player. My director of basketball operations and Wisconsin grad, Drew Spunkus. athletic director, athletic trainer, Mr. Mike Gilmartin. And then my players, Gary Talton, a senior this year from Dallas, Texas. And Anthony Kelly, a senior from Aurora, Illinois. I'm sick of clapping now, so we're going to stop. All right. Just to give you a quick synopsis, I thought Porter did a tremendous job of helping everyone understand what everyone's trying to get done in their programs. Everyone's working, everyone's grinding. To sound a little like Tim Tebow, everyone's excited about what's going on, and that's the way it's supposed to be. We're all in this thing for the right reasons. We're all passionate about our jobs. We're all passionate about the people that we work with on a daily basis, and that's why we do this. I'm sure if we could do this for free, we'd all be in the same positions. But the bottom line is, it's about the student athletes. And we have quality student athletes at UIC that are trying to do the right things. They all want to win. And as coaches, we try to make sure we give them the right direction, the right encouragement, and to make sure that we're helping them in every facet of life to make sure that they're successful beyond basketball, beyond those things that people put wins and losses on, but making sure that they're ready for life outside of the sport moving forward. So that former student athletes can stand in front of people and say that they're proud of their alma mater and they did all the things that they were supposed to do as a student athlete. So on a daily basis, these young men and their teammates have worked their tails off. They've done everything we've asked, and they've allowed the culture of winning to come to accumulate at UIC, and making sure that everything we do, everything we say, is geared towards putting us in a way that we can win games this season and beyond. So we're very excited about what's taking place. We know these young men have the right hearts, and we're going to do everything we can to put them in position to be successful. On a personal note, I want to make sure that I give acknowledgement to someone who's very dear to UIC athletics. Mr. Jim Ryan. He was a guy that in our games, he's a former UIC baseball player, a gentleman who would be behind me yelling and screaming at the officials, and a guy that had a big passion for UIC basketball and athletics as a whole. And he's going to be truly missed. And I just wanted to make sure everyone knows that this season is dedicated to that guy that was behind me yelling at those officials. A guy that pumped red and blue in his blood every day of his life. And so I just want to sincerely say we miss you, Jim, and this season is dedicated towards you. Every practice, every possession, every game we play is going to be definitely with you in mind in our hearts. We all miss him, and we appreciate everything he's done for us. Just to touch on our schedule a little bit, it's a competitive schedule. It's one that we know is going to prepare us for the Horizon League. And we're going down to St. Thomas, starting off with New Mexico, top 25 team. We'll definitely be challenged there. We start off the season with UC Riverside. They're also in town to play our friends at DePaul. So we got to get off to the right start and making sure that our guys understand that every game is going to be important. There's something to learn from it, something we can gain from it. Whether it's a win or a loss, we got to make sure that we're learning from every experience possible going into this season. But we're excited. We know that this is a year where, for us, we're looking to turn the corner. We've put things in place to make sure that we can have a season that's going to show much improvement. And trying to put numbers on an improvement season isn't what we're trying to do. But we're going into every practice with the impression of getting better and improving in every facet. Taking better care of the basketball, playing better team defense, and making sure we're executing at a high level. If we can just be very good at those three things, then the improvement will be there. So we're all guaranteed to make sure that we're doing our job. And I told our guys, be committed to doing what you're responsible for, and we'll get the results. So again, I'm very, very happy with our group. I'm very happy with the people at UIC who are behind us and understand our vision, and they stay with our plan. And if they just understand that it takes time and the process needs to take place, we'll be in good shape after this season moving forward. So again, thank you for everyone here for putting this on. Thank you to all the coaches here. Everyone here does something for their program to make sure that we're all heading in the right direction for the city of Chicago and Chicago basketball as a family. Whether we're competing against each other or we're competing against someone outside of the Illinois or city of Chicago, we're all making sure that we're rooting for one another. The recruiting battles are very vicious at times, but when it comes to these folks here, there's nothing negative, and it's always good in good spirit. So I wish everyone here the best of luck for the women's programs. All of you exemplify class. You all exemplify hard work. It is great seeing Regina build her program from across the hall and seeing what they're putting forward. And I appreciate all the things that they do, and I enjoy spending time just talking philosophy with her. She's doing a tremendous job, and I wish her the best of luck, as well as the other women's staffs here. And make sure that we all go out and understand that this is breast cancer awareness month. Make sure you do something to show support and do things that's going to bring light, all right, to this dreaded disease, and hopefully put it to an end. God bless everyone today, and thank you.